Hey everyone, welcome to today's lesson. Today I'm going to be going over the project that you're going to do for this week, and I'm also going to go over an example of what your project should look like so that you can get full points. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of the project. So let's first just read through the project. So looking at the project, you are given a situation. You are offered a 30-day trial period at your dream job. However, the owner of the company is a little unusual, so the pay options are non-traditional. They offer you 3 different pay options for 30 days. Option 1, you start with $0 and you get paid $60 per day. Option 2, you start with $1, you make $2 on the first day, $4 on the second day, $8 on the third day, $16 on the fourth day, and this pattern continues for 30 days. Option 3 says you start with $0. On the first day of work, you get $1. On the second day of work, you get $4. On the third day of work, you get $9. And on the fourth day of work, you get $16. It continues this way for 30 days, and then once you've completed the 30 days, you receive a completion bonus of $1 million. Part 1 asks you to decide which payment option you would like to take. In supporting your decision, you must create a table of values and another representation of the situation. So you're going to be creating both a graph and an equation for that situation that you choose, and explain your decision. Remember, this is about the total pay after 30 days. So we're not looking at what it is over time. We're just looking after 30 days, how much are you going to make? Part A says which payment option would you take, and you're going to highlight one of the 3 options. So if you chose option 1, you're going to highlight option 1. If you chose option 2 or 3, you're going to highlight one of those. Based on the option you choose, what kind of model could be used to describe a situation, linear or exponential? And C, why do you think the selected model above is best used to describe a situation? So you can use the sentence stems to help you. I think that linear / exponential, so you're going to highlight one of those. And you're going to explain why you think this is a linear or exponential function. You're going to create a table of values for the options that you choose. Notice that right here, when we get to this box, that the values jump. It goes from 5 to 10, right? We're not going from 5 to 6, we're going from 5 to 10. So how would you figure that out? Use the table above to create 2 more representations, equation and graph, for the option you choose. So what is the initial value, the starting point of your chosen situation? What is the rate of change for the chosen situation? How are the values changing? Doing this is going to help you set up your equation. And if you're setting up, and you're going to type your equations up into these boxes down here. So depending on the model, so if you chose linear model, you should be filling out this box. If you chose exponential model, you should be filling out this box. Then you're going to create a graph, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to explain which representation you like better and why, using the sentence stem. And you're going to explain your decision. Part 2 is optional. This next question is optional. If you didn't like the first option your boss gave, here's another one, right? So this right here is extra credit. If you want to do this, you can. You don't have to. So if you want to get extra credit, I do suggest you doing it. So let's look at an example. Before we start, do not copy these numbers down. These numbers have to they don't do anything with these options. They're totally made up. Decide which payment option you would like to take in supporting your decision. You must create a table of values and then another representation. So I chose option 1, and I think that option 1 is going to be linear. Again, this is not necessarily the correct answer to your project. Okay, this is on made up numbers. Then you notice that I highlighted the answer down here, and I'm going to type in here the reason why I think it's a linear equation. So I think that it's linear. It is linear because, and then I'm going to give a reason why I think this is linear. I went ahead and then created a table of values for my payment option. So as you can see, this payment option is getting $5 more a day. And that's none of the options I was given. So remember, these are not the correct values. I answered these two questions, and because I chose a linear model, I filled out this side of my equation because it's how I set up my linear model. Right here, I typed in my equation. So what you need to do is you're going to click into this box and press the arrow button to the left so that the blue box highlights the equation. Then you can start typing in your equation and this will be correct. Next, I want to create a graph. So let's see. I'm in Desmos and I wonder if I can use my table to create a graph. Well, if I click this plus sign and I click table, I now have a way to use the table to create my graph. So I remember that it was 0 and 5, 0 and 0. It was now 1 and 5. So this went all the way down. And it was 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Then this side I remember was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then it jumped. 50, 125, 50, 75, 100, 125, and 150. Now I noticed that my graph isn't all on the, or all my dots aren't on the graph, or I can't see all of them. So I'm going to click the minus sign to zoom out until I can see most of my dots. Next. Well, that took a really long time, and I wonder if there's another way that I can do this. Well, I wrote an equation for it, so why not use the equation? The equation was y equals 5x. And as I can see, the dots go, the line goes through all the dots, which means I probably did this correctly. I'm going to take a screenshot, which I learned how to do in the last from 2 videos ago. So I took a screenshot, and I'm going to go ahead and insert my screenshot into my document. And I made sure that it's big enough so that I can see it. Okay, next. I like the blank representation more because, well, I like the graph representation more, and I'm going to highlight that one because it was easier to see the growth. Okay, this is my reasoning. Explain your decision using data. So this means I'm going to explain So you're trying to explain why you chose that option. Right? And I'll say I chose option and I'm going to highlight the option that I chose because it was the easiest one to do, right? This is just an example of what I wrote. However, I want you to use the data. So using the data means using the numbers. So because the numbers were increasing at a steady rate, and it was easier to do the math, right? Again, this next option is optional, or this next part is optional. This is something that you don't have to do. And that's it. So as a recap, this is your project. If you are in periods 2 and 3, your project is due Monday at 11:59 p.m. And if you have me for blocks 4 and 5, then yours is due on Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. So some of you might be asking, Ms. Trent, can I work with a partner? Well, I say yeah. If you would like to work with a partner on this project, you may do so. However, each of you must turn in your own copy. So you each need to type up in your own writing all of this work, and everything needs to be in your own words. So let's say I was working with Miss Ramos on this project, and this is what I wrote for my explanation, and Miss Ramos also wrote the same thing for her explanation. She can't do that. She needs to put into her own words why she thinks this was a linear equation. So, do you have to work with people from your same block? No. If you want to work with other students from different blocks, you can do so. But again, each of you must turn in your own paper. That's all I have for today. This week, you'll be working purely on your project. Once you finish this video, you may start on your project. You still have to work on accelerated math this week. So I actually suggest that you do accelerated math first and then start on your project and maybe figure out what your partners, figure out who your partners are. I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, please call, email, or text me, or come to my office hours from 1 to 2 every single day. Bye.